it is. This is my big reveal that I've been keeping under the wraps for some time now. It's probably been like about a month and a half, but you guys are finally seeing it today. Now, before I speak more about why I chose this car, I want to give you just a quick walk around just to give you more close-ups of this beautiful, beautiful car. This is my new supercar. It is a 2017 Dodge Viper ACR-E. So it is the extreme version of the ACR. So there's a few differences between the extreme version and the non-extreme versions of the ACR. Now, before I point them out and before I give you the walk around, I do want to tell you that this car is 100% stock. So how you see it, that is exactly how it comes from Dodge. Now, a few differences of the extreme version is, first starting off here at the front, is the larger front splitter and also the additional canard on each side. So that right there gives you that whole aggressive look that you can immediately tell once you see the car from the front. Another difference between the extreme version and the non-extreme version is that the extreme version comes with these louvers, well, these fender louvers, which in a regular car you would have fenders, but this is part of the entire hood. So this right here is the entire hood right there. Now these louvers, you can actually remove them while you're at the track. Now these right here, those are part of the regular ACR as well. But now walking here towards the side, now one thing that I love, now this isn't a difference, but one thing that I absolutely love are these wheels. So again, these are stock wheels, but I love the color. Now usually I'm a big fan of black wheels, but this color I really like. Now they call this color brass monkey, and honestly I can't really explain the color. So it's like a dark bronze kind of brownish color, but I absolutely love it, especially with the entire color combination of this car. So this is white, black with red stripes. I'm not usually a fan of white cars, but I just think with the brass monkey wheels, the combination with the black and red stripes, it's just perfect. Now I've seen this combination a few times here and there on Instagram, but I mean, I love it. I have no complaints. Now moving here towards the rear. So another difference of the extreme version is the wing. So this wing sits taller and is also wider than the non-extreme version of the ACRs. And here we have this diffuser, which is, I absolutely love it. Let me try to give you a better angle here. So another difference is that this diffuser, it extends lower to the ground, which, look at this. This is insane. So like I said earlier, I've been keeping this car under the wraps for quite some time now. So it's been since late December. This car has been sitting in my home garage and I've only driven it twice. So I've only driven it the time that I bought it and today, which I came here to film this reveal video, and I got this car locally. I was so happy, so lucky to actually get this car locally, and I bought it from a huge Viper enthusiast. So he had 4 Vipers, including this one. He actually had 2 ACR-Es, including this one. He had the, well, first of all, let me tell you that other ACR-E that he has is a twin turbo build, making 2600 wheel. He had a Gen 5 and he also had a Gen 2 with another twin turbo kit as well. So like I said, huge Viper fanatic. Once I stepped into that garage, I was like, wow. So initially he had bought this Viper because he was thinking of doing the twin turbo kit on this one, but he actually decided to do it with the other Viper just because the other ACR-E that he has had a higher mileage, and he just thought since this one was a very low mileage Viper and it was a higher spec, it would just be ruining it. So it sat in his garage for like about a year. He drove it here and there, and then he decided a year later, you know what, I think it's time to sell it, and that's when I came in. I also want to point out something else. So this car is a dual exhaust and the exits are right here. So there's one on each side, and it makes it for a very interesting driving experience. Having driven a Ferrari, Lamborghinis, and McLarens, this car, even though this car is a front engine car, it almost seems like when you drive it, like it's a mid-engine car, because you can feel all of the vibrations and hear everything behind you, which the first time I drove it, I was like, wait, what am I driving? Because I can hear everything behind me and I can feel everything behind me too, like those cars, which leads me to something else. So whenever you step out of the car, since the exhausts are here on both sides, you have to be really, really careful when you step out. It even gives you a little disclaimer here with do not touch your hand, because it gets really, really hot here. So you do have to be very careful here for both the driver and the passenger. I do not even want to imagine how it gets here in the summer with this. And another thing that I wanted to point out is that, since I mentioned earlier, this car is a very highly spec'd car. Now the reason for that is because, as you'll see right now when I show you in the interior, almost every little piece of the car where you can put carbon fiber, there's carbon fiber. So usually in other ACRs, which the interior, it all depends on how you spec it out. There's really no difference between the extreme and non-extremes. Again, it all comes out to how you spec it out from factory when you buy it. But almost every little thing where in other ACRs there would be either plastic or like this silver or like beige or bronze, it's carbon fiber. So you can see here towards the door opening, everything is carbon fiber. I mean, like literally everything here. The dash here for the AC vents, right here, it's carbon fiber. There is Alcantara and also leather. There is some plastic, but it is very little. But just like I mentioned before, when it comes to the interior, there's absolutely no difference between the extreme and non-extreme version. It all comes down to how you spec it out from factory. But I mean, I absolutely love it. Why would I complain when it has all of this carbon fiber, the Alcantara, the leather, of course subtle plastic pieces here? But this steering wheel is something else that I really like, because it feels really good. It is thick and it also has a weighted feeling, which reminds me a lot like the M car steering wheels. So it just feels good. It just makes it for a better driving experience. And of course it is a manual. All Vipers are manual, but I mean, when it comes to a car like this, a track animal, of course that's the way to go. Now as far as space, I mean, I wouldn't, it's not the car to do your groceries in, but let me show you. This is like about the only space here, which is this little mesh here, and that's about it. But another good thing about this is that if you're tall, this car works for you. Matter of fact, the previous owner that I bought this car from, he's very tall, and the pedals, you can actually adjust them. So I adjusted them closer to me, but they were all the way there. So this car would fit really good for like a tall person, and it has pretty good leg room here. But I absolutely love it. I can't complain whatsoever. Why the Viper ACR-E? Honestly, I mean, there's really no why. This is a car that I've wanted for such a long time now. I mean, I've mentioned this car since the beginning of my channel, but I've wanted this car even before I started a YouTube channel. It's just everything that I've wanted. I mean, I really enjoy the look of this car, the aggressiveness, the rawness, the feel, just everything that I want. I mean, it's a track car. I absolutely love the track. It is what I enjoy the most out of everything else. And I mean, it's also an American car. I have Americans, so I mean, it's the most fitting. It's one of my dream cars. I still have more on the list, but I mean, this one is the one that I always kept going back to. Honestly, the GT3 RS was there on my list, and I was like, you know, I don't know, if I get the GT3 RS, I'm always just going to keep coming back to my Viper, because that's always what I would end up as. I'm like, you know what, the GT3 RS can wait. I really want this one, because I mean, I've been wanting it for such a long time, and I mean, it was just calling my name, and I mean, it is the last Viper. What is next for the Viper? So I plan on making another Viper video, in which I'll go more in depth and show you more about the car. I didn't show you in this video just because I really want to do it in that video. We can put it up on the lift, we can look underneath, we can also remove the wheels and basically just check everything. I haven't done that yet, because just like I said, when I first bought it, I just parked it in my home garage, and I really didn't have time to even drive it, just because I was busy with other things. So now I do have the time, and I also want to do that together just to get everything checked. But as far as modifications, because I know you guys are gonna ask, I do have some modifications in mind already. it's not too much, but either way, I'll go over that and my future plans for the Viper in that next Viper video. But now we have two snakes. So we have the Shelby and we have the Viper in the shop, even though the Viper isn't going to be sleeping here, but we do have two snakes on the channel. And just like I told you before in my previous video, my main priority now is the Shelby, is getting the engine back in, getting this car back up and ready. But of course, we do have the Viper, so there will be, just like before with the giveaway, there will be other videos here and there, but my main rush, my main priority is to get the Shelby back up and running. So let me know, guys, what do you think about the Viper ACR? Was it something that you guys expected? Because I know I mentioned it here and there on my channel, so I'm not sure if you guys remembered that, but I'm curious. But other than that, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.